I wish somebody had told me these things when I was 17. Because when I was 17, oh boy, I made the most tragic mistake of my life that turned my life upside down. But guess what? I managed to go through the tunnel and come out to see the light. And that is why in this video, I'm going to give you 3 tips that will help you to overcome every problem in your life that you think is too heavy. Just stick with me to the end of the video. Tip number 1, trust in God. I know this will sound very cliche because we all hear it all the time, trust in God. But what I'm trying to say is that the mistakes are the only things in your life you have defined to be wrong. Now, the funny thing is that most of us think that things are mistakes because they didn't work in our favor. But let's look at the story of Joseph in the Bible. Now, Joseph in the Bible was a man that was given a promise by God that he was eventually going to lead his family out of every kind of hardship that they would ever have. And he would eventually climb to the highest level of life and be very successful. Now let's look at the process he had to go through. Now his brother sold him to be a slave in the house of Potiphar. Potiphar's wife tried to lure him to sleep with her and he disagrees. He goes to jail and then eventually he comes out of jail and then interprets the dream of Pharaoh and then comes to be Pharaoh's right-hand man. Who would have thought that this process would have led Joseph to become the Joseph that we all speak about today and even name our children Joseph? Now the beautiful thing is that if Joseph at every point of his life was seeing everything as a mistake, he would have found a way to solve his own problem, which would have led him outside the will of God. Now what I want to say is that when I was 17, when I made those mistakes, and yeah, I'm obviously not going to tell you about it, was done for it, I learned to trust in God, because the beautiful thing is that God sees the end from the beginning. He sees the past, the future, and the present. He knows exactly what he's doing, and then if you have to go through the process, you would go through the process. Now let me say one of the most amazing things I recently heard from a message. Now the pastor said God puts every preacher in the pit, which is pastors in training, and every man of God who really wants to make it would go through the wilderness. That is just the first one. So the mistakes you're making in your life that you think are mistakes, just hold on for a while. Try not to do anything too drastically wrong, like killing yourself, moving completely away from those who love you, and then speaking evil of God. Try not to do these 3 things and put your trust in God. Tip number 2, build fire in the rain. Yeah, I know that sounds very, very ironic and contradictory to each other. How can I build fire in the rain? What I mean is that, when Paul was shipwrecked, the amazing thing that happened was that when the natives gathered the fire and firewood to start the fire up, and Paul helped them start the fire even though it was raining. Now the beautiful thing is that always look for a way where there seems to be no way. This is what I mean. Build fire in your rain. Don't give up on who you want to be because of some of the setbacks in your life. No, some of these things are actually stepping stones. And what I want you to do is that when life hits you back down with 1 punch, stand up and prepare for 2 more punches, and stand up again and prepare for 3 more punches, and never give up on the fight, never throw in the towel. Keep moving, because the beautiful thing is that who you are going to be is only at the end of the tunnel, and that's what you and I don't know. So you cannot stop the journey midway, or else you're not going to go anywhere. So don't give up on who you want to be, regardless of how life is making you feel. That was one of the things I wish somebody would have told me when I was 17. It would have changed some of the things I did when I was 18, 19, and you can guess my age now. Tip number 3 is the final one, which is very, very personal to me, and it's solve the problem. Don't think about the problem. Now, this has become one of the principles of my life. Basically, a lot of people like to think about a problem, come up with ways and means they could have solved the problem, instead of actually doing what they are thinking should be done right. For example, you've offended somebody and you feel bad about it. Go and apologize to the person. Let go of all the resentment, the shyness, the pride, the anger that you feel, and go and apologize to the person. Because in the long run, you only think about how to solve the problem and never actually solve the problem. And that's the reason why you are still in the dark. Okay, so if you're feeling depressed about something, tackle the issue. What is the problem? What's making me upset? What is making me not feel free about this particular thing? Why don't I feel like I could do something about this? Move Do it instead of think it. And once you keep on doing the stuff instead of thinking it, your life will change. Now, this is how I apply this to my life. I had a problem with being disciplined and then managing my time. What did I do? I started reading books to help me to be more disciplined and how to manage my time. The problem was not that I didn't know what discipline was. The problem was I didn't know how to execute the level of discipline I needed. The more I kept reading books and changing the way I think, then discipline became an easy thing for me, because I realized that I didn't necessarily have to be disciplined for the things to be done. I had to be disciplined so that I can do the things, and that changed my life. Now, if you watch this video and you're very excited about it, then you would want to watch the video that is just popping right on the screen. So watch those videos, and then I'll see you in my next video. My name is Gabriel Oppong-Mensah, and it's bye for now.